Hello and welcome to A VO's Journey. Today we're going to be focusing on focus, the importance of staying focused, but we're going to go further and we're going to talk about the things that you should focus on and the things that you need to push aside, or we'll discuss hiring people to help you with that. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. Welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony, and this show right here is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to endlessly continue to step on. Speaking of which, focus. So the reality here is a lot of what I talk about and I teach, come from a lot of, again, the stuff I keep stepping in over and over again, and you would think after years of doing this and, honing my craft and my skill and working on focus that I would easily stay focused. And that is, it can't be further from the truth. I struggle with it. And I'll tell you why. I think because what happens is that as we're going along, things are moving, you get, you kind of get in a rhythm. And if you're anything like me, you love spontaneity, you love creativity, you love, a new challenge. But in the end, you just love to create. And the thing about creation, okay, is that, creation doesn't end. You can continue to create and create new things all the time. So, anyways, this is a challenge, I would think, for most of us, too, because, we're in an industry, or we're in a business as actors, performers, where we like to create new characters. We like to do new voiceovers, right? We are always going to the next new thing. All right, so it's a part of the interest and the joy, I think, in performing, right, is because it's not mundane. It's always something exciting. So that is the part of what we do that is thrilling, that keeps us coming back for more, that keeps us interested in that new best or new exciting thing. However, the challenge of that is that because of that, it is easy for us to just get caught down multiple rabbit holes, one after another, just continually going down these paths, right, of new and interesting and creative endeavors that end up, if we can't focus on one or two or three of them, we can tear ourselves apart. Meaning we can lose focus on the things we have to do, that we need to do in order to keep moving forward. And it's funny today, like every day in the VO's Journey Lead Academy, I have a morning announcement and I send out updates and everything. And part of that is a quote. This was let's see, the quote today was an old Portuguese proverb, and it's think of many things, do one. Now, I put that quote in there for just myself, but because right now, for example, we do a VO's Journey Lead Academy, which is amazing, right? We help voice actors learn, grow their business. We have a curriculum and a progression, right? Where to start, where to begin, where to go next, where to go after that, what to do next, etc., with acting and marketing, etc. So, it's really nice. We go in semesters, so it's extremely helpful. So we do that. I run that. But also, I have my voiceover business. Like yesterday, I had multiple tags that I was doing for CBS in Chicago. It's a really it's a cool thing. I do stuff for CBS in Chicago. It's funny. I live in Virginia, but love it anyways. There's a variety of other things to do with voiceover work, etc. Doing some big e-learning project here. Anyway, so there's a voiceover work. Then on top of that, I have Academy Voices Entertainment, which I love. It's very exciting, right? And it's this thing because there's so much creativity going on. We've got our new series of Skyborn that we're working on, right? Which is, complete animation, voice actors, performance, and audio engineering, all sorts of things. It's a massive project, create worlds and all sorts of characters. So that's exciting. Plus, we do our audiobooks, our meditations, working on audio dramas. And now I'm trying to work on these things called graphic audiobooks because I really think that that's going to be a way to keep a lot more people engaged with audiobooks online through YouTube, especially, right, is to show graphic depictions, like you're just making a short animation for the audiobook, right? However, do it in a manner in which it's more like in a webtoon format. All right, so we're not animating the characters per se. They're more still images depicting scenes and everything with some effects, just some general like storybook effects kind of thing, right? So I think that'll spice things up and make things exciting. Of course, that's a massive project, right? Character consistency, doing all. The point I'm trying to make to all this, right, is just me personally, because I'm just sharing my thing. I've seen this play out for a lot of voice actors in a variety of different ways. Here's a perfect example of how it plays out for a lot of voice actors. Social media content. I see this happen to a lot of voice actors where they want to grow their business, they want to get themselves out there, and they start to work themselves into this social media content frenzy, meaning that they start to create all sorts of different social media assets, like just doing things, like they're reading in their booth and they're posting it on Shorts. They're creating characters and posting it on Shorts, or they're making interesting, quote of the day posts and all these things. Just doing all this variety of different types of ideas for social media posts. None of that is wrong. None of that is bad. Okay. But what I see a lot happen is voice actors start to pump majority of their energy into creating these things, all right, that are really a branding tool that should be used, and this is just my humble, remember, there's many different people's opinions, right? So this is just my opinion. But I feel like it should be used as a down the road tool when you have the rest of the machine running effectively, getting work, etc. Because that branding tool, those social media posts, you got to think, if you're posting something and a person sees it, like, well, what do you, and that usually that's going to be another voice actor. What are you actually accomplishing? Do you know what I mean? As opposed to spending that same time it took you to create all that to do 5 auditions where you might, you have a real opportunity, a real chance to get work. And I think the thing about auditioning, right, the thing about posting onto freelance platforms or pay-to-play platforms or building out your website, putting together these things or an auditioning and actually targeting specific work that's being offered, I think it becomes a little mundane because it is guys, it becomes like a job. And that's the reality of what we do. Okay? There's no one wakes up. What's funny, because you always see those people who are like, gosh, they seem like they come out of nowhere. They've made all this money, they're doing incredible, and like, gosh, it's amazing. It's overnight. But the reality, that person has spent years and years and years working on day in, day out, doing these things that seemingly the repetition of them can become boring. You know what I mean? But that's what it takes to actually get the specific work. And I think in the beginning of this video, I talked about some things you can do, though, to still dip your toe into a lot of the creative stuff. I'm like the more creativity, as opposed to what really we need to do to get voiceover work, right? Is to pick these things. We need to audition. We need to make sure that we're putting everything up on all the platforms that we talked about. Moving over to, once we have all of that going on, moving over to our website, working on building out our website. Then we build a direct response marketing system from there after all of that, which most likely will take you a couple of years to build. This isn't an overnight thing. This is not an overnight get rich business. Okay, I don't think there's really any of those. That's all fake. That's not true. This takes years. But once you do that, then we move on to the branding. But if you have that creative itch, you have that thing, you've got to accept. I'm talking to myself here too. You've got to accept you cannot do it by yourself. You're going to have to hire people. You're going to have to enlist friends, people who have the skills you're looking for to help you. but you're going to have to find other people who can help you do some of these things, and you have to step back and be the manager of the project. Okay. A lot of us like to get our hands dirty. Like, I wish I could be like the Matrix and download it all in my mind. I've said it a million times. I said it a million times. I really do, because I love the idea of being able to draw, to create, to build, to act, to do all of the. I love all of it. It's all creative. There's so many unique and exciting things to do when you can create worlds and things of your own. But that's, I'm not that talented, to do everything. No one is, right? And it's silly to think that you can do everything. All right. Some people are, some people have a lot more abilities than others or whatever. But the reality is, and here's the thing. I blame my mother. No, this is a good thing though. But my mother was always so supportive to me, and she always would tell me, listen, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. You can accomplish anything. And she told me that my whole life growing up, over and over again. And I sincerely believe it, and I believe it's true. And I feel like I've proven that in my life that it is true. However, there is a caveat as we get older. I think the caveat is that you can do. Like, you can learn how to draw. You can learn how to act. You can learn how to do audio engineering. You can learn how to build a house. You can learn how to do, whatever. You can learn how to do it. But to do something well and meaningful, right, it does take time and practice and effort and repetition, right? It takes time. And I think what happens is, as you'll find, especially with us who are working full-time jobs, we've got families, we've got a lot of stuff going on. We have a limited amount of time. So that's where that becomes a challenge. So leverage has to play a part on this, meaning that we have to be able to leverage other people. You know me, I like to say other people's money, other people's time. We have to be able to leverage them in some way. And the reality is, what you'll find is other people too. I mean, as a group, you can create so much more together as a group than you can ever by yourself. But you still have to have that vision, you know what I mean? And you have to be more of a manager, okay? And yes, there will be times where you'll be doing things and you don't know what to even look for. This happens all the time, and that's where you spend your time, if you have any extra time, learning just the processes of things, who to hire, where to go with it. Those are the types of things that you should work on and that you can do. But beyond that, you don't have time to do 50 things. And I'm telling myself the same thing, because I want to do 50 more and 50 more and 50 more. I just want to magically make it all happen. Just do it all myself. It's all done. Right? It's just not possible. It's not. So we've got to focus our efforts. Let's kind of come full circle here. Focus our efforts on the things we must do in order to get the success we're looking for, at least to get to the voiceover work we're looking for right now, which is auditioning, getting on the platforms, right? Other people's money, other people's time, who have built these platforms, built the marketing, built all of the systems that go along with it that's driving traffic. We need to get our stuff up there. So we need to be focusing on building our portfolio. If you're new and you don't have one, you have to make it from scratch. You got to build it yourself. You got to make it up. That's how it starts, right? I mean, any artistic endeavor, no matter what it is, acting, building, performing, drawing, creating, you've got to show what you can do before someone's going to hire you. And when you don't have any work, you've got to make it up to start, right? So part of your journey, especially in the beginning, the first couple of years, is making everything. Making everything takes time and effort. You've got to learn. You got to be coached. You've got to take classes. You've got to trial and error. You've got to try new things. It takes time. Give yourself that time. Don't be in a rush to learn the craft, but make sure, going back to what I was saying here, make sure that while you're learning the craft, you're learning one thing so you can get good at it. Done at 50 things. It's hard to get good at 50 things all at once. It's like near impossible. Okay? So you're doing all of that to build the business, right, that you're trying to create. Focus on those things that we know generate work for you, all right? The rest of the things, I'm not saying we can't do them, but we need to manage them All right, learn how to manage them, find the people who are really good at them, pay them, or, convince them, cut them in on the deal, cut them in on whatever you're trying to do. Find a way to get people to work with you and to help you if you're going to do more creative stuff. All right, which is exactly what I'm trying to do right now with, Academy Voices Entertainment, is we're growing at such a colossal pace. It's unbelievable. We have 30,000 plus subscribers. There's new subscribers in the last month and a half on our channel. It's been a whirlwind, right? And it's growing. It just continues to grow. But I can't keep up, right? And there's more. We have so much more possibilities and capabilities. You can't do it by yourself. So I hope this helps. Like I said, it was probably just as much for me to tell to myself it is to tell to you. But I thought that that Portuguese proverb earlier was funny, and I'm sure it's a proverb in every society, every culture around the world throughout time. Right? Pick one thing and do it, and work on that. But I think you can manage, right, other projects, working with really great people who also can do them as well. And you can produce more than what you can do on your own, but it has to be with a team. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Just remember, we've got coming up St. Patrick's Day. We've got a big special coming up next week, so super excited. Make sure you pay attention to that. If you want to join a VO's Journey Elite Academy, check out our courses. That's going to be a great time to check it out. That starts next Monday. And again, I'm going into my surgery for my hip replacement. That's another thing, right? Hip replacement. So I'm excited about that. But, I'll be laid up a bit. But that's okay because, we did do everything online. I don't have to go very far. So everything's in my house. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. You have a good one. I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.